Hey everyone, this is a trader and investor, and I hope you had a great weekend. So let us prepare our trading plan for the week ahead. And I'm going to look at the Sunday futures action just to see what they are doing, how they are faring against safe, against our structure, against our area of value. That's what I want to take a look at so I can prepare my week ahead and have a plan for Monday morning when the cash market opens. So that's what I'm going to focus on for now. And as always, I start with save, which is your area of value and execute. Are there possibilities for me to look at based on the structure? If we have a broken structure, what is the action plan for that? If we have an intact structure, are we at an area of value? When we're not at an area of value, it's not a safe place to enter. And as I talk about safe, it doesn't always mean that the area of value is the only place to enter, but those are the best risk to reward areas. And you might see me enter some positions counter trend when it's away from area of value, just to be able to capture short-term movements that are heading towards area of value, whether it's down or up. As price is heading towards area of value, I might take some small positions, but overall structure, area of value, execute based on price reaching area of value. That's really what I look at. So let's look at the charts and see where we are in the market. Let's start with our monthly. Uh, the monthly for the ES still intact, nothing to be concerned with. For NQ, NQ has been broken. I know this was a broken one, but what's interesting is so far this whole month of March, we have come down and tested some significant support that were prior monthly resistance and now support even on a weekly basis. So we bounced off of that and we have formed a monthly doji. We still have a couple of days left in this month, so we'll shall see what that entails. Uh, Russell's RTY on a monthly basis. It appears that the trend was broken. Structures appears to be broken, but we are still maintained within structure, so it's not fully broken yet. But as we dig down to the weekly, daily, hourly, we'll be able to tell if there are any significant things to look at. And lastly, on the monthly, let's look at the diamonds. The diamonds are the strongest, but we are at an area of value. We're hitting the upper end of the trend line, and we're at that area of value. It could continue to go higher, or it could bounce to the lower side before resuming higher. So there could be a pullback. So just to be aware that we are coming to an area of value. And when we come to an area of value, we have to be careful as to what actions we take. Right? We should not be in a hurry to take full positions on the long side, on the bullish side, right? So potentially this could reverse, but that's okay. So now going down to the weekly, then once we have seen where we are on the monthly structure, let's go down to the weekly. And what we see in the YM, in the Dow, a couple of weeks of sideways action, uh, slightly skewed to the bullish side. So that's the action we're seeing, and we're opening this week. It's a down day, but it's nowhere near the strengths of the last week, right? So it's okay. So it's just overnight small actions yet to be confirmed by cash market open when New York opens up in the morning on Monday morning. So the Russell, we can see on a weekly that we have broken our trend lines, we have broken structure, but we're also contained. Right? We have a significant support that for multiple weeks, price is respecting this whole zone. this whole zone is being respected, whether as a resistance or as support. This whole zone is being respected since the week of January 4th. So pretty much since the beginning of this year, this calendar year, we've been respecting this support line around the 2083.50 area, because support is an area, not a specific price point. We've been respecting that zone. And so we came down a few times, got rejected at support, came down, got rejected at support. So we're still in an uptrend, even though the trend line structure is broken, but the support structure still remains intact. So that one is still intact. So when we go to NQ, kind of a similar like the Russell, we have term support zone that is being respected, and we have price below our trend lines. This is a long-term trend line that we have formed since the COVID lows in March. We kept making a strong uptrend, but we are now in a consolidation. Because we are in a consolidation, we have yet to see what price does outside that consolidation area. So that's what it looks like when we are looking at it on a weekly basis. And lastly, the ES on a weekly basis, that is still confirming that our monthly trend line that was respected, we're still making higher highs. And so on a weekly basis, no sign of a pullback. So now let's go to daily. Let's go to the daily and see if we see anything. Here we see an interesting thing, as we have seen it on Friday as the markets closed. ES seems to be making a series of higher lows and higher highs. ES is making those right now. That's what we are seeing, series of higher lows and higher highs. And there's a daily trend line that ES is respecting and is staying above those trend lines, and we are continuing to make higher lows and continuing to drive higher. So, for me to believe that this bullish movement is going to strongly continue, I want to see this area broken, the highs that we've made broken. I'm pretty sure we're gonna hit 4,000 soon, maybe even this week. Of course, I'm not predicting. I'm just saying that is a possibility for us to hit the 4,000 this week. So on a daily basis, it all looks good. There's no current sign of a pullback on the daily basis. What we're seeing is just a strong movement up. So NQ on the daily, that sideways action is really magnified on the daily. It's a good sign that we are making uh, a higher low and we are respecting this kind of a short-term trend line. We're respecting this trend line and making a higher low. So as long as price, maintains this, as long as price continues to do this, and maintaining that line, we're still in an uptrend, recovering from the loss of structure on the long-term structure, but we have this support zone that price seems to be respecting now for a few weeks. So we're respecting this. So pullbacks are healthy, pullbacks are normal. We pull back to a strong support area and we're bouncing off that support area. So as long as we're respecting those lines, we're good to go. So so far, I am not seeing any action to take, right? Whether on the ES when I'm looking at the daily, but like I said, on the ES, I want to see price broken above these highs. Above these highs, I want to see this price broken in the ES for us to feel like It's, its next leg up is coming, right? So I want to see that. So maybe that happens, next couple of days, and then we look at potential entries. Right at this break we enter, and we have some tight stops based on what the hourly tells us. But for now, on Monday morning, as market opens, I'm not seeing any potential entries yet. Yet, as I think the significant part to consider is what we are not seeing yet. So in the Russell, because it was broken already on the uh, weekly, but we are respecting this zone again for a few weeks, it's acting like a good resistance, a good support, good support, good support. As long as we're maintaining that area, it's a healthy market. And so I prefer not to see this. I prefer a shorter pullback if necessary to keep heading higher, shorter pullback, keep heading higher. This is what I would like to see, and that's what I am preparing for at this moment in time. Monday, Tuesday, this is what I look for. If this trend is broken, then I'm going to look for something different, right? If price really breaks this support line and it uses it as resistance here and reverses, then it's a different entry that I'll be looking for as the markets open Monday morning. And the futures, they have a tendency to move widely at times, and then Monday morning cash market opens, and we have a different picture. So I'm not baiting any entry signals right now uh, due to the Sunday movement. I want to see what happens overnight and Monday morning. So for now, no entry for me that I see on uh, the Russells. So YM, I'm preparing for that entry. YM is showing some extra strength. I would like a small pullback and an entry above that pullback. Because what we want to do is, now that we have viewed our daily, we go to the hourly to look for our entry opportunities. So right here we had, if we look at uh, the hourly chart, we have some very strong, very, very strong flags that are formed and actioned, right? So we had some strong flags here. Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. Oh, no wonder I'm using the wrong drawing tool. That's why I'm not getting what I want. Right there. There you go. So we have a very strong bullish flag that was broken the last hour of trading on Friday. And so what we want to see, if price gives us an opportunity to kind of pull back here, to reverse here, and my a strong signal would be price does not go below this. If it bounces here and reverses, this is a strong signal for Monday for an entry. I think from all the four futures market that I see, this is the best one that I like as an opportunity for Monday morning. It's setting up to give me that entry because we had such a strong move on Friday. I'm seeing this possibility here for Monday. So let's look at the Russell on the hourly basis. On the hourly basis, we're dancing in that same kind of a flag pattern formed, but it did not really have a strong breakout. So here we might actually have a chance. We might actually have a chance to break this. And this, I might consider entering a position here, provided we are maintaining this area here. So as long as price is maintaining above this high lows of Friday, I'm comfortable entering a position in the Russell, but yet to be seen and confirmed. So NQ on Friday had a strong move again last hour. There's some support areas, potential support areas here, and price could come down to this area and reverse. If it does that Monday morning, yet to be seen, yet to be confirmed. But look at the difference between the YM and the NQ. The YM made a very nice pennant, very nice flag, and it moved up above that flag. In the NQ, we don't see that flag or that pennant, right? It just moved up. It broke these highs and moved up. It broke those highs on good volume, and so the other one is, to me, is just a much better, smoother entry. But this is as valid. So if anybody wants to take this position after we get a bounce, I want to see this. I want to see this bounce somewhere here, and then an entry above here. That would be a possible good entry on the hourly. And finally, the ES. ES, higher lows, higher highs. I want to see more higher lows. This one, I want to see breaking, not breaking. I want to see price maintaining a new higher low for continuation. But I like the YM setup for now. That's my preferred setup for an entry for Monday morning. Now, a lot of things could change between now and Monday morning, but this is what I like so far. This is the entry that I want to take. So this is my analysis for this week. And real quick, I want to go into my one of the positions that I took last week. I took a position in SPG last week, and I'll show you where I entered and where I am expecting price to be. So I entered at the open of Friday. I entered at the open of Friday because I like this action. I like price continuing to grind up, and I liked on Thursday at the close it had a strong volume supported move up, so I wanted to go long. I bought some cool call options, not a whole lot of position because I did not see so the reason I didn't take a full load on Monday, when I entered this position on Monday, not on Monday, when I entered this position on Friday, this is where we were. This is where we were on Friday. So we made lower lows, but we haven't made a higher low yet. So that's why when I took this position based on this action, I saw this flag and I saw good consolidation overnight. It's a good consolidation on Thursday. That in that consolidation of overnight that followed the highs of Thursday, I was happy to take a position with a stop right below the lows of 9 a.m. Pacific time on Thursday. So if we broke those lows, I was considering myself to be wrong, so I took that position. So ideally, in my trading style, where I would have taken this position would be at the break of this high. At the break of this high, assuming this right here, holds as higher low. So if this holds as higher low, if that holds as higher low, then I'm okay entering that trade, right? That would be my ideal position. But since I took an early entry, which is okay with me, even if I'm wrong, I'm okay with that. I took an early entry. Now, when price breaks this highs, if that happens tomorrow, I can add to my position based on my rules. So this was an aggressive entry, like small position. By small, I mean 25% of my full load or less. With risk management, my full load does not risk more than 2% of my account. Sometimes is 1 is what I like to risk. Sometimes I will go up to 2, but 2 is the max that I'm willing to risk on any position that I take. The risk portion, right? Not the position size, but if I am able to take 10 contracts and if I lose $1 per contract, that's 1% for me. That's how I view it. So I have a formula that I use to tell me my position size based on my risk size. And so an aggressive entry is 25% of my position. So since I have 75% position left to enter, if I get a signal Monday morning, the break of these Monday or Tuesday, by still maintaining above this higher lows, then I can enter the other 75% of my position. So I just wanted to give you a quick summary of my position that I took on Friday, because I mentioned it in one of my videos. This is where it is. This is where it's standing today. And based on its price action on Monday, I will take action. And then the other thing we can look at is we can look at our screen. So screening for bottom fishing, the results in 30. So some of them I've discarded last week. Some of them are still coming up as screen results. It's 30 of them. So what I will do is I will add all of them to my watch list. For some reason, it is not cooperating with me. It is not cooperating with me. Add selected to watch list. So since they're in my watch list, I can close the screener. And this is bot fishing, and since I already know on a monthly, weekly basis, daily basis, they're in an uptrend and they're just making a short-term pullback, and I want to take advantage of the short-term pullback. That's what I want to do. So I'll start from the top and go quickly through my analysis and say, hey, is there something that I like? And if I'm not very comfortable with the hourly, I just want to confirm it with the daily. So the daily, a lot of consolidation here. I'm not ready to take an action on this one based on daily consolidation. MasterCard is where I'm waiting for price to trigger. So I have an alert set and I'm waiting for price to trigger. So it actually triggered during the last hour of Friday. That's what I was waiting for. So Monday morning, I didn't want to enter those. So Monday morning, if we're around that price, I'm going to enter a long position on using call options. Goldman Sachs is making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. We have equal lows here. So I want to see this broken before I entertain this. So there's still a few days of action that will happen. So that's a quick exit. Here we have a nice upward movement, but on the daily, let's look at the daily on this one. On the daily, we are still in in relatively recovery mode. I want to see the highs, the 325s broken before I consider this as an entry. So I'm going to X that out. I just want to simplify my charts, right? The ones that I want to take action on, I want to simplify. AON, too much consolidation for me. Fortnite, Fortnite, it is looking like it wants to make a higher high, but I have yet to see it with a higher low. So as I X these out, they're going to come back tomorrow, the next day. That's okay. Then they'll probably XRVO is in a consolidation. So I don't want to look at it. Skyworks, I believe I took it out last week because it's has headwind. If it breaks the highs of recent pivots, I'm going to consider it. So I can exit out because I have an alert. So ADI, too much of a sideways movement. I want to be able to look at the chart and quickly say, I'm happy with this chart. I can take action. MCHP, nope. Marriott, too much of sideways action for me. Raw stores, I believe I have an alert set up, but again, raw stores, a lot of sideways action, but if we have some alerts to get us long, we will go. I think HLT is Hilton. Yep, Hilton. A lot of sideways consolidation. Price is starting to break down to the downside. It's not confirmed that it's broken to the downside, but it's playing around the downside. So I want to wait until we have. As you see, I'm starting to cut down on the number of symbols that I have. You know, Bed Bath and Beyond. Too much side wind for me. I take it out. Right now in the retail space, I'm not very fond of the retail space yet. I'm probably missing out on that, but for me, I'm not seeing a lot of good action. So, as you can see, I'm going to take out Nordstrom's uh, sideways, sideways. So for my bottom fishing, not working. So this has had a nice pullback. It's in a consolidation. So if I look at the hourly, what does the hourly tell me? Is it giving me, here's a higher, okay, this is something I can get behind. We have a low here. We have a higher low here. We have a high here. We have a higher high here. So I like this action. I really like this action. So what I want to do is I'm going to set an alert. I'm going to set an alert when we break this area. When we break this area, I want to go long. So that's where I want to set my alert. Because this action I like. It's making the kind of moves that I want to see it make. And just price gives me that alert, I want to get in. I want to get in at that price. So that's a nice one. BLDR. What is the daily telling me on this one? Looks like we're in a good recovery mode. This one tends to move in a range, tends to move in a range, tends to move in a range. So you know what? Let me not spend any time on this. CPRI. Okay. Moved in range, broke out of that range, had a deep pullback. It's starting to break from that pullback. So looking at the hourly, high, lower high, low, higher low. So this is not deciding what it wants to do yet. A triangle, like a symmetric triangle. So that's what it feels like. So we could break either side. So I don't want to entertain this one. See how quickly I'm removing some symbols here and making my list smaller. Uh, eBay had a nice bullish move with a very, very deep pullback, and then we continued the bullish move. We are making higher lows and higher highs. So if we break this area, I want to see what the hourly does, because it might give us a better opportunity to mm, I'm not seeing on the daily basis. I see some consolidation. I want to see some a little bit of a pullback. I would like to see a little bit of a pullback and make a higher low on the hourly basis before we break this. This is what I would like to see. So I'm going to skip this one because I'm not feeling it. And trading is about being comfortable with what you're trading. It's not about forcing it. I want it to come to me. So in this one, I don't feel like it's coming to me. DraftKings, it's making lower highs, lower highs. I'm not seeing any evidence of higher low. So that's out for me. Western Digital, lower highs, but then price could make a low. I'm not seeing a higher high yet. So for today, out. Darling Ingredients. Uh, okay, we have higher high. We had a double bottom. I want to see price give me a higher low before I'm ready to pull the trigger. I want price to give me a higher low. So I'm gonna keep this one in my list, because my list is already starting to get to a manageable size. I'm going to keep that one so I can watch it, but I'm Monday when the market's open. EWBC, we have a higher low, and here, if we break this, I am comfortable entering a position. So I'm going to set myself an alert, because this high was higher than the previous swing high. And so if we break those areas, I'm comfortable entering. So we'll wait. TRMB, I want to see what the daily does. I have some accounts in this company. So I believe it's a strong company. But for options play, a lot of sideways movement, I'm just going to skip the options play. And FANG, energy companies have been doing great lately. So it's just in a pullback. And so looking at the hourly, we're starting to form a higher low. I want to see a higher, because this area here, got rejected. So I want to see it broken with some strong volume before I take any action. So I don't even want to set an alert yet. I'm just going to watch it. Seagate, I'm not seeing a higher low. At one, we have those higher lows if you want to consider this one bar. movement, but I want to see what happens. I want to see this broken. I want to see this broken because we failed on Friday when price rallied. We failed to break this high, so I want to see that broken before any actions. So we have a come to here. RHI on the daily. On the daily, we have good movement and then a pullback, but the pullback, as you can see, is making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. So it might be ready to turn, but it hasn't turned yet. So I need to see some strong turning. So I'm taking it out. Morgan Stanley, the banks have been doing pretty good. So banks, I want to see on the hourly basis, where do we have possibilities? So low, higher low, high, higher high. So if we break this, I'm ready to. That's an indication that the hourly structure is broken and we're resuming the daily, monthly, weekly trend. So we're going to go back up. So I want to see this, so I get an alert and I take action. And I think the last one we have to see is MGA. MGA on the hourly, I'm not too excited about it. So daily is good. Looks like we have a good pullback. And so what I want to see on the hourly is we want to maintain this higher lows. But the reason why I wasn't comfortable is these highs are not above these highs. So I want to see this high broken before I feel very confident with this. So I don't like this chart. I'm going to take it out. Here, we now have 3, 6, 7 on my short list that I'll be looking at on Monday morning, in addition to the 4 indexes that I always look at. Those are my primary vehicles, and I use them regularly. I use Fibonacci retracement entries. I use higher highs, higher lows, or lower highs, lower lows as entries and take action on those. But these are based on my screener. This is what I see. And in the morning, I will run the gappers for the morning. TradingView gives me that screener. And as I see gap ups, I would also analyze those to see if there are any possible entries for me to take advantage of. So I know this has been a pretty long video, but I just wanted to go over my preparation process for Monday morning. You're seeing it uncut. This is as real as it gets. This is how I process it in my head every day. You'll hear mistakes. You'll hear some pauses as I'm thinking about these. So I wanted to make this video not in terms of, oh, how can I make a great video, but in terms of how can I share my thought process as I am thinking it. I didn't want to think this process, go through it one time, and then make a video again. I wanted you to go through the process with me and see where I'm making some mistakes as well. So hopefully this has helped you, and I look forward to sharing my morning shortlist from the gainers when the pre-market action starts on Monday morning. So have a great rest of your day, evening, and I will talk to you soon.